Hello students, it's Nazia Begum here, your physics lecturer, welcoming you all in today's lecture, and the topic for today is bar magnet as an equivalent solenoid. Why to study this topic? Because if we draw magnetic field lines due to a bar magnet and a current carrying short solenoid using a compass needle, we observe that there is a very close resemblance between the pattern of field lines in the two cases. In both cases, the field lines are continuous loops which emerge from one face and enter the other face, further decreasing the length of the bar magnet, and solenoid also shows similar change in field line patterns due to both. Okay, so first thing, when we draw the magnetic field lines for bar magnet and for solenoid, they are similar to each other. And the second thing, if we decrease or increase the length of bar magnet, it will behave in same manner as we increase or decrease the length of the solenoid. So these observations suggest that a bar magnet may be considered as a set of large number of circular currents in analogy with a current carrying solenoid. So now we try to find out the magnetic field due to a current solenoid at a far off point on its axis and compare it the axial field due to a bar magnet. So first we will find out the magnetic field due to solenoid and then compare it with bar magnet. For that, in front of you can see one figure in which we have shown one solenoid. O is the center of solenoid. From O, one end of the solenoid is at length L, other end is also at length L. So the total length of solenoid is 2L. Radius of solenoid is small a, and this solenoid is having n closely wound turns per unit length. Okay, so small n is showing the number of turns per unit length. Let P be the point. In diagram you can see right hand side one point P is there, and point P is at a distance r from the center of the solenoid. Let us imagine that current I is flowing through the solenoid. Okay. Now to find out the magnetic field due to solenoid, we will again do the integration method. We will again use the integration method. So according to that what we will do, we will take one small cross sectional area of length dx at a distance x from the center O, and we try to find out the magnetic field due to this small area dx at point P. After finding that, we will integrate it for the whole solenoid. So according to Biot-Savart law, due to the small cross sectional area dB, the small magnetic field at point P will be dB equals to the magnetic strength experienced by point P will be equals to mu naught n dx IA square upon 2 r minus x whole square plus a square whole power 3 by 2. Here n dx is the number of turns in the circular element and r minus x is the distance of point P from the center of this element. So here you can see this is center. Okay, from center the length till point P, the distance is r. Okay, and from center the distance of this area, this small circular area is x. So the distance from dx to P will be r minus x. Okay, so in place of r in Biot-Savart law, where r is the distance between the area which is producing the magnetic field, and the point where we have to find the magnetic field. Okay, in place of r we will put r minus x. So magnetic field P due to the entire current carrying solenoid will be integration of dB from minus L to plus L. Why we are taking the limit from minus L to plus L? Because as you can see, okay, two L's, two directions are there, okay, on the opposite side of center O. So that's why we are taking from minus L to plus L. Now at a far off point P, R is very greater than A, okay, and to L also. So here we are neglecting A, here, and we have this formula B equals to mu naught I A square upon 2. These are constant, it will come out. And here when we integrate this one, because A is very small, so that's why we take only minus L to plus L dx upon r cube. When we integrate this, we get this one, okay, and minus L to plus L when we put the limit, so we get this equation, okay, and then this one. Because I have already told you the method of integration, and in previous derivations I have shown you how to integrate, so that's why I am leaving this up to you. You try to integrate it, and if you are having any problem in that, then you can ask me the doubt, okay. So after doing all the integration and rearrangement, we get this equation. Now n into 2l is the total number of turns, which is capital N. So in place of n into 2l, here we put capital N. So this is the required formula. NIA is the magnetic dipole moment. So in place of NIA we can put M. So we get the formula of magnetic field due to a solenoid in far off point S, mu naught upon 4 pi into 2m upon r cube. Above relation also gives us the magnetic field at P due to a bar magnet. Thus we conclude that the magnetic fields produced by a bar magnet and a solenoid are similar. In the middle of this derivation, you will feel low light, okay. So you please increase the brightness of your screen, because here current went off, and because I have started making the video, so I have to continue with the sunlight, which is also very less due to bad weather. So that's why you may feel that in the center, in the middle of this derivation, the light is a little bit dim. So you please adjust it with your screen brightness, okay. The next topic is Gauss's law in magnetism. This topic is omitted for this year, but I am telling this to you because it is very small and very important also. Okay, we have already seen Gauss's law in electric flux. Now here we will see that for magnetic flux. So this law states that the surface integral of magnetic field B over a closed surface, that is, the net magnetic flux through any closed surface, is always 0. Okay. In case of electric field, we were getting it as Q upon epsilon naught, but here we are getting it as 0. So phi B, the total flux passing through a closed surface, equals to surface integral of B into ds equals to 0. So this is the Gauss's law in magnetism. And what this law conclude? First of all, this law conclude that isolated magnetic pole do not exist. Second, magnetic poles always exist in unlike pairs of equal strength. And third, the smallest source of electric field is a point charge, but smallest source of magnetic field is a magnetic dipole. Now let's discuss Earth's magnetism. Okay, so as we all know that the biggest magnet present here, which we know, is Earth. Earth is having two poles, North Pole and South Pole. And as we have discussed in previous lecture, the geographical North Pole is actually the magnetic South Pole. And that's why it attract and pull of magnet, because opposite attract. And geographical S pole, South Pole, is actually the magnetic North Pole. So geographical pole and magnetic poles, they are just opposite to each other. Now first of all, let's discuss that why Earth is considered as a magnet. The first point to prove is that a freely suspended magnet always aligns itself along north-south direction. If the magnet is turned a little way from this position and left, it oscillates for some time and finally aligns along its initial north-south direction. So what it indicates? It indicates that something is there which is pushing the magnet to align in that particular direction. And that something is what? It is the magnetic field of Earth. Because a freely suspended magnet always points towards north and south pole. So that's why in Earth there must be north and south pole. That means Earth also is behaving like a magnet. Then the second point is that if we try to draw the field lines due to a bar magnet in laboratory, we come across a pair of points called neutral points. At these neutral points, the magnetic field is zero. What can be the reason for this magnetic field to be zero? There must present some other fields which are cancelling the field lines of this bar magnet. Okay, so that field lines which are cancelling the field lines of bar magnet are there because of presence of any magnet. So where that magnet is? That magnet is Earth itself. Because if Earth does not produce any magnetic field, so that neutral points we will not get. Because Earth is producing magnetic field, that's why we are getting the neutral points. Okay, when we do the experiment, we be very alert that near the bar magnet which we are using for experiment, there is no other magnet. Okay, if there is no other magnet, so why we are getting the neutral points? It is because of the magnetic field of Earth only. Then third point to make our argument more strong is that if we bury an iron rod or iron coin or anything which is made up of iron below the surface of Earth in north-south direction, so after some time it itself becomes a magnet. Okay, so this phenomena also suggests that Earth is having a magnetic field, and that magnetic field induced some magnetism in the iron rod as well. Then fourth point, in the Arctic regions of Earth, that is near the magnetic north and magnetic south pole of Earth, we see enormous pattern of colored lights in the shape of giant curtains or flowing saris going high up in the atmosphere. Okay, and unfortunately it is not visible in India, but when you Google it, you can see that light. Okay, you Google northern lights, then you can see very beautiful images of that lights over north and south pole. In north pole it is called aurora borealis, and in south pole, okay, it is called aurora australis. And these patterns suggest that Earth is having some magnetic field. Okay, and because of that magnetic field, see, magnetic field is strongest at the poles. So when the sunlight is coming in the poles, because of the high strength magnetic field, the electrons and protons which are coming from the sun in sunlight, they make some kind of pattern. Okay, and they strike with other molecules and that light appears. Then fifth and last point, experimental studies reveal that Earth's magnetic field is fairly uniform near the Earth's surface, and it is of the order of 10 to the power minus 4 Tesla or 1 Gauss. It extends to a height of almost 5 times the radius of Earth, that is 32,000 kilometers. And because of Earth's magnetic field only, we are safe from hazardous effect of sun. From sun, many types of very harmful rays are coming towards Earth. But because of Earth's magnetic field, these rays, those harmful rays are being stopped above from the Earth's surface, and we are living here safely. If Earth's magnetic field would not be there, then those rays enter the Earth's atmosphere and reaches the surface as well, and the life here will be very difficult. The survival of humankind will be very difficult. So we have discussed the points which emphasize that yes, Earth behaves like a magnet, it has a magnetic field. Now let us discuss what is the cause of Earth's magnetic field. See, many physicists attempt to tell us the cause of magnetic field, but there is no proper evidence that why Earth is having magnetic field. So first we will discuss all the reasons, and then I will tell you what is the most prominent, most accepted reason of Earth's magnetic field. So first of all, the branch of physics which deals with the study of Earth's magnetism is called geomagnetism or terrestrial magnetism. Okay, so the first reason given by Professor Blackett for the cause of Earth's magnetism is that here magnetism is there due to its rotation on its axis. This argument was based on the fact that every matter was made up of charged particles, namely electrons and protons, and rotation of the matter about an axis was therefore equivalent to circulating currents. The circulating current are like current loops which behave like magnetic dipoles. So I hope you understood this point. All the materials are made up of electrons and protons, and when sun rotates about its axis, that electron and proton also rotates. Because of that a current flows there, and because of that current only magnetic field will produce. Then the second reason here is another viewpoint about Earth's magnetism suggests that it is due to the charged atmosphere of Earth, which is created by the collision of high energy cosmic rays with molecules of the gases in the atmosphere. Okay, so this is very simple one. Here in Earth's atmosphere, because of high energy cosmic rays are colliding with the molecules of the gases, that's why some charged particles will be created, because gases will get ionized. When gases gets ionized, positive and negative charge particle appears, and because of that only when the Earth rotates, that charge particle also rotates, and that's why a strong current is created and hence the magnetic field is created. Then third reason is given by Eliezer in USA and Sir Bullard in UK in the beginning of 20th century, and they suggest that Earth's magnetism was due to the electric current generated by the convective motion of the ions in highly conductive liquid material in its outer core. The convective motion of ion is due to the heat escaping from the core of the Earth. This is called dynamo effect. So let me explain this to you. Earth, when we see the construction of Earth, we are having so many parts. The innermost part is called core. Okay, and there is two type of core, inner core and outer core. Inner core is solid but outer core is liquid, and in outer core many magnetic materials like ferrous, nickel, etc., they all are in liquid form, and they are having some free electrons. Okay, now because they are in liquid form, so when earth rotates, they also rotates, and when they rotates, their free electron also rotates, and because of that free electrons, a strong current is generated there. Because of that current only, magnetic field is generated. So these are the three reasons given by physicists explaining the cause of Earth's magnetism. Out of them, this third one, in which we are saying that in outer core metals are present in liquid state, and that's why current is present there, and that's why the magnetic field. This region is accepted mostly in the whole world. And why this theory is most accepted? Because moon has no molten core, hence it produces no magnetic field. See, moon is not having molten core and it is not having magnetic field. It suggests that if it is having molten core, it may have magnetic field. Second thing, Jupiter rotates faster than the Earth and produces a magnetic field which is stronger than that of the Earth. Third, Venus rotates slower than the Earth and produces a weaker magnetic field than the Earth. That means those planets which are having core and they are moving, they are producing magnetic field. So it suggests that in Earth also magnetic field is there because of the molten metals in core. So these are only the theories given by physicists to understand Earth's magnetism, but till date there is no exact region of Earth's magnetism and it is yet unknown, and investigations are on to discover the real cause. So students, this is it for today's lecture. See you in next lecture. Till then, goodbye, take care, do some productive work, and most important thing, be healthy, be safe.